So Boss has a new pedal. It's called the Rotary Ensemble, the RT-2. It is right there and it's finished in gold because it's like the perfect golden shower. It shows you speed with these little LEDs here, and you can change the slow speed, make it go really fast or really slow. And then when you switch to fast, it shows you that as well. And it has separate modulations for the bass speaker that's rotating and the horns, the treble horns that are rotating. So it sounds fantastic. I've had the Neo Instruments Vent 2, I think, or Mini Vent, on my board for quite some time, and this is the first one that is like at that level. I haven't found any other Leslie kind of rotary speaker sim that even came close, but this is there. It's absolutely wonderful. Going back to slow, and then we're just gonna listen to it. And I'll explain the controls along the way, because that's a lot more interesting than me just talking. Now it can get really Gilmore-y with the slow speed. It's gorgeous. Nice wobble. Let's set it to the slowest speed. Now it has two knobs, but the two knobs are four knobs, because you can rotate this here behind and there as well. So you can set the slow speed with this one, and you can set the fast speed with this one. So you can tailor it to whatever sound you need speed-wise. But there's also drive, because if you really push a Leslie cabinet, it starts going into overdrive. You know, Deep Purple had an organ that was always like in overdrive. If you really crank it, that is super cool. So you can, I think you can use it for keys as well. But I like the clean tones. And you can get your Stevie on as well. Well, you know how it goes. Mode switch here, this is mode 1, like the normal Leslie 122 speaker. And then when you set it to mode 2, it adds like a wider frequency range that works well with more overdrive, because it can get quite muddy when you use a Leslie speaker with a lot of overdrive. Sounds like this. Let's go to slow. Yeah, that is really nice. And according to Buzz, Mode 3 adds more drive, that I can hear, and a more focused modulation. I have no idea what it means, but it sounds like this. Yeah, it definitely sounds like more of a square wave. Not a big fan of that one because I'm a vintage nerd and I love the original tones. This is absolutely beautiful. Adding a little bit more drive. Turning off the carbon X here, so we're back only to the clong. Nice. Nice! Two little switches on the top here. The left switch, it's called balance, and that lets you select the mix between the horns and the bass speaker. So if you turn it clockwise, then you only have the horns, and turn it counterclockwise, you're left with the bass speaker. You can look at it as sort of like a tone control. In the middle, I think it's a little bright. And then just roll it back a notch. Go back to drive and it functions as a normal drive knob again. So it remembers that setting. On the right, you can set the rise and fall of switching between fast and slow speed. So right now it's on slow. And if you look at it, it goes to the fast speed slowly. Now, if you set it to fast, then it'll go there instantly. And then we're back at slow. I really like the slow setting because you can hear the rotors spinning up. That's really, really cool and independent, you know. So the horns start spinning faster than the bass horns because they're heavier, and they emulated that as well, which makes it like up there with the Neo Vent for me. It's stereo as well. That's what we're gonna do now. All right, so stereo. On the left, you're hearing the Victory MK30, and on the right, it's the Blackstar St. James plugin. Here we go. Back speed. Cool. Yeah, did I forget anything? You can set the switch in different ways as well. Right now it's set that if you press and hold, it goes to slow or fast. and you just press once to turn it on and off, but you can switch that around. And there are 2 more modes, and you can also set one of the outputs to a dry signal, so you can do the wet-dry thing from within the pedal, which is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, ratings. Build quality, well, it's a Boss pedal, so it will survive a nuclear apocalypse, 10 out of 10. Innovation, although Boss took a fresh approach to the whole rotary pedal thing, rotary pedals aren't new, so 6 out of 10. Looks, it has that classic Boss look. It's a format they can do new things in. Yeah, it looks good, but it's not spectacular. 7 out of 10. Ease of use, well, just a couple of knobs, and even with all the functions, you can just navigate easily. And the manual is super clear, so 8 out of 10. Like I said, it's up there for me with the Neo Instruments ventilator, so 10 out of 10. It's also a lot cheaper than the competition, so there's the innovation, I guess. 9 out of 10. Brings the total to an 8.4 out of 10. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and bye.